My name is Alyssa. This is my husband Chandler, and we are going to take you through a short yoga flow. If you have low back pain or any back pain, we'll be opening the spine. We'll be doing this with different spinal movements, as well as some lunges, which seems counterintuitive, but lunges can release a lot of the tension that we hold in our back body because our bodies are all connected. So roll out your mat or practice with that one like I do most of the time, and let's get started. We'll get started in a comfortable seated position. You can be in easy pose like I am, or sitting on your heels like Chandler is. If either position is uncomfortable, simply sit on a bolster or elevate your hips by sitting on a block or pillow. Let your eyes close and begin to notice your breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. Inhale and exhale. Keep breathing this way, in and out through the nose. We always try to breathe in and out through the nose throughout our practice to signal to our body, to signal to our mind that all is well. The breath can start to activate the parasympathetic aspect of our nervous system, the rest and rejuvenate. Which, if you've had a busy day or week, that knowledge is invaluable. Now you might keep your eyes closed for this next movement. On your next inhale, lift your shoulders up, and exhale, let them flop down, like drop down to your ears, like you're just dropping out any stress from your life. Inhale, really exaggerate the movement, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, let them fall, drop, just gravity's pulling them down. 3 more times that way. Inhale, lift, shoulders up towards the ears, and exhale, release. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, feel the tension go. And last one, inhale, lift, a little bit higher. Exhale, feel all the stress just flop down with your shoulders. Now, move into a child's pose. You can take your knees together or as wide as your mat for this child's pose. Let the forehead gently rest here. If it touches, it might hover above the mat. That's fine too. Your hands can be stretching forward or maybe back along your sides by the hips. If they do come back by the sides or by the hips, then turn your palms to face up. Take 3 breaths here. Really try to notice how your body's doing in this moment as you breathe and are still. Many times we move so much throughout our days that we don't even notice what's actually going on with our physical body. We're just on autopilot. Beautiful. Now inhale, come up onto all fours. We'll take the cat-cow movements. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin for cow. And exhale, round your spine up towards the ceiling, tuck the chin towards your chest for cat, like you're this arching cat. Nice. Now inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, lift the hip bones as well. Feel that tilt in the entire spine. And exhale, really round. Feel your body moving the opposite way. Keep moving this way for 3, more cycles. Dropping the belly, lifting the chin as you inhale. And exhale, moving the opposite way. Feel the spaciousness between the vertebrae. Feel the tight spots in your body. See if you can intentionally breathe and create some internal movement through your breath and through this physical movement to start to heal whatever's feeling a little bit crunchy. And as soon as you finish what feels like your last round of cat-cow, we'll start to take some barrel rolls with the torso. So imagine your torso's on the inside of a barrel and you're trying to get your navel to touch all of the sides of this barrel, moving around, feeling the stretch in different areas of the body now, maybe even the obliques. And when you finish your next barrel roll, go ahead and take a pause and start to move the opposite direction. Still breathing in and out through the nose. Don't worry too much about the breath. Let it be natural. But if you do find yourself holding your breath in a pose, it's a signal from your body you've gone one step too far. Now after your next barrel roll, pause, be still for a moment. We'll start to take some leg movements. So I want you to extend the right leg out straight behind you. And now we'll bring the right leg out in line with the right knee and then let it tap down to the floor and bring it back across the left foot, moving the opposite way. So I'll get out of Chandler's way so we can do this movement. Tapping the foot in line with the knee and then crossing it up and over and tapping it to the outside of the left foot. Keep moving. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel your navel supporting you. And we'll take one more of these crossing movements. Good. And this time as he crosses, he's going to cross at the knees, bend the back knee, the right knee, move right into cow facing pose. Gomukhasana. And you can stay hunched and supporting yourself with your hands here. You can sit all the way back on your knees. Whatever feels good. Now inhale, lift the torso, lengthen the spine. Maybe lift the left arm up and lift or stretch the right arm down. Bend at the elbows, and if you can touch hands, grab opposite hands behind your back. If you're not flexible enough to do that yet, grab your shirt. Just reach. Wherever you are is good. But do press your head back into your arms to feel the entire spine lengthen. And if you want a little bit more, start to fold forward over the thighs. And if you are folding forward, really be intentional about trying to keep your hips connected to the floor. And if you start to fold and you're like, too much, don't worry about it. Just ease on out of it. Beautiful. Now start to inhale, rise up. Release the hands. Come up onto the shins, plant the hands in front of you, and re-extend the right leg back and bring the knee in for our tabletop pose. Now, same thing, other side. The left leg will go straight. The ball of the foot will come to the floor on the outside or in line with the right knee. And then you'll bring that leg back over, cross over the ankle, tap there, and then bring it back, tap in line with the knee. Bring it back across, crossing the ankle, tapping on the outside of the foot. And one more time, bringing the leg in line with the knee, a little tap. And this time as we cross, we'll be bending and sitting back into Gomukhasana. Use your hands here to support you. And be very gentle with the knees. Make sure this doesn't hurt at all. As you bring the hips down, feel yourself ease into the pose. Lengthen the spine. And if you'd like, this time we'll lift the right arm up, left arm down, and then bend at the elbows, grab opposite fingertips, a strap, your shirt. And once you have that hold, you want to press the head into the backs of the arms, opening both the shoulders, feeling a stretch in the hips. And if it feels okay for you, start to fold forward and down. Now Chandler is very mobile, so if you're not as mobile, I'm going to show you another option for this pose, and that would be to lie on your back, cross your knees, grab your ankles, flex the feet to protect the knee joint, and simply stay here. If that is too much, especially on the IT bands or hips, cross the ankle over the lower part of the thigh, figure 4 stretch. Now inhale, rise up if you're in the regular cow facing pose. Release the arms, plant the hands in front of you, roll over the shins, back to our tabletop position. Very nice. Now tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Downward facing dog. Shift the shoulders forward over the wrists. High plank position. You can drop onto your knees here, especially if you have any pressure, tension in the low back. Slowly lower for 3, 2, 1, all the way down onto the belly. We'll move right into Sphinx pose. Prop yourself up on the forearms, elbows touching the mat, and then lift your gaze straight in front of you. Not really arching too much with the cervical spine or the neck yet. Once your gaze is fixed on something straight in front of you, start to intentionally breathe if you forgot about the breath. Notice where you feel the breath traveling in your body. And if your shoulders feel like they're hunching up towards your ears, relax them down, creating more space. If this feels good, stay here. If you want a little bit more, press into the hands and start to hover the elbows, maybe even straighten the arms. But if when you straighten the arms, the shoulders come up, just back out, let the shoulders come down. If it's too much tension, take the hands a little wider as you begin to straighten the arms. Notice how the stretch changes with this different body position. And exhale, slowly lower all the way back down to the mat. Now bring your arms out to a T position, palms face down like an airplane. If that's too much, or if you want more sensation rather in the shoulders, bring your arms to a cactus position. It'll be way more intense, but if your shoulders are tight, I recommend keeping them out. Step the right foot behind the left leg. As you do so, you'll plant the right hand and your right hip will peel up off the floor. If you want more intensity in the stretch in the left shoulder, turn your right hip bone up towards the ceiling. If you want less intensity, you'll let the right hip bone drop closer to the floor. So you're completely in control of this pose. Breathe. Slowly with control and pressure, right hand supporting you, make your way back down onto the mat. We'll take it to the other side now. So right arm in that straight position or bent, left hand propped for support, step the left foot behind the right leg. And then slowly as you peel your left hip off the floor, notice that if you want more intensity, bring the hip a little bit closer to the ceiling, facing the ceiling. If you want less intensity, then you bring the hip down towards the floor. Breathe fully, intentionally. Let the stretch feel nice. And slowly relax, release the posture, come back onto your belly. Still on the belly, interlace fingers behind your back. Imagine I have a string, and it's attached to your knuckles. Exhale out all your breath. On an inhale, imagine I'm pulling that string and lifting your chest up, your head up, even your maybe arms up off your low back. If you can, it's not too much. Lift your legs as well. Keep the legs straight, big toes together. Feel and breathe here for 3, 2, slowly release this bend. That was beautiful. Bring your arms back out to a T. Palms face down. Exhale out all your breath. Inhale, lift your arms, gaze, legs, big toes touch. And you'll notice how Chandler has his legs straight. If he bent his knees a lot, he could lift a lot higher, but that doesn't have all the therapeutic benefits we're going for here. Lift, breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, gently release back down to the floor. Bring the left ear to your mat, gaze to the right. Fully relax. So when we're in the postures, bring the hands by your sides, palms face up. We want to be in the postures, especially these spine strengthening postures, like 110%. But when we're out of them, let's be fully out of them. Okay, now bend your knees, reach back for your feet, grabbing right beneath the toes, meet the rest of your foot. Try to keep your knees close together here. They don't have to be touching, but don't let them come out wider than your hips, which is the tendency. If this is too much, go to one of the previous poses. You can also put a strap around your feet or grab like a sweater is what I like to do and just hold onto the sides of the sweater. Bring your chin to the floor, exhale all the breath. Inhale, begin to kick into the hands and lift the torso by your kick. So the more you kick, the more the chest lifts. Kick a little more, the chest, the chin lift a little bit higher. Kick a little more, they keep lifting. Now the tendency here is your body will move wherever you're looking. So if you're looking down to the floor, this back bend won't really be that much of a back bend. So kick a little harder, lift a little higher, and then hold, breathing only with the top 20% of your lung capacity because you're in a back bend and your belly's on the floor. Keep breathing. And slowly exhale, relax, release the pose. This time press back to a child's pose. Spend a moment there. And then press back to a downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up. Step the right foot between the hands and drop onto your back knee, the left knee. Interlace fingers on top of the right thigh. You might stay here with a straight, long spine. If it feels okay, press into the hands and maybe even lift your chin a little bit to exaggerate the back bend. We're stretching the left hip flexor here, which if you do have low back pain, will start to alleviate some of that. Now you'll see that Chandler's knees are very mobile. He's safe because he's using his bandhas, pelvic floors lifting, low belly pulling in and back. For most people, that might not be the safest, but he knows his body. I know his practice, and we can say he's okay because he is. Now on your next exhale, bring the left hand to the inside of the right foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the left knee off the floor, extend the right arm up, and then maybe gaze up towards the right hand. Full deep inhale. Exhale, watch the right hand come to the outside of the right foot. Optional high to low push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, gaze is lifted, shoulders down away from the ears. And exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Now lift the left leg up high. Step it through, low lunge on this side. Bring your right knee down to the floor. And then interlace fingers onto the left thigh and move into your version of the low lunge on this side. Breathing. Maybe as the right hip flexor opens a little bit more, you lift the chin a little bit more and exaggerate the back bend, only if it feels good. Listen to your body. Now inhale, ease up out of it. Bring the right hand to the inside of the left foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, extend the left arm up. Reach. Inhale, reach. And exhale, plant the left hand on the outside of the foot, step it back for a vinyasa, high to low push-up, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, up dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. And we'll take one more leg intensive warrior sort of flow. Very simple though, and intentional. Lift the right leg up. Bend the right knee for a scorpion down dog. The right heel will come towards the left hip. Breathe here. Now re-extend the leg. Step your foot between the hands. Come up into a high lunge this time. Back heel will be lifted. Back leg as straight as you can get it. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead, biceps by the ears, but the shoulders are down and relaxed. Gaze straight in front of you, lengthening the spine. On your next exhale, pivot and plant your back heel down. Extend the arms out to warrior two. The shoulders, hips open to the side of the room. Your gaze is forward, stretching the fingertips apart. On your next breath, I want you to move into a reverse warrior, but reach that right arm straight up. So this is more of a side stretch than a back bend. Backhand can come to the leg, little to no pressure there. The front leg is still bent. Don't let it straighten with this new pose. Now we'll return to a warrior two position just for a moment. Breathe. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Reach far forward and down, Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So again, as Chandler moves into this posture, you can see how his anatomy starts to shift. He's stacking the left hip on top of the right, left shoulder on top of the right, and then if it feels okay in his neck, he'll start to gaze up towards that lifted hand. One more deep breath here. On your exhale, bring both hands to frame the front foot, bend the front knee, step it back, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take it all on the other side. Lift the left leg up. Bend the left knee. Feel the stretch in your hip. Let it feel nice. Let your breath feel nice. Let your body feel nice. Now re-extend that lifted leg. Step it between the hands, high lunge. So keep your back heel lifted here. Be intentional about your movement. Extend the arms, biceps by the ears, and shoulders will come down away from the ears. Gaze is straight ahead of you. So the spine is long all the way through the cervical spine. On your next exhale, I want you to pivot and plant the back heel down. Open the arms up, warrior two, and once your hips and shoulders are in that nice spot, extend your gaze over the front fingertips. And just like before, we'll maintain the bend in the front knee and reach the left arm up. Less of a back bend, more of a side stretch in the left side of the body, even in the armpit, which is really beneficial to our lymphatic system. Reach and breathe. On your next out breath, exhale, return to warrior two for just a moment. Inhale, lengthen, straighten the front leg, reach far forward with the left fingertips, and then hinge at the waist as you move into triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. Slow and controlled movements. Stabilize the body. As you're ready, maybe even look up towards the right fingertips. And if it's too much in this pose or you feel like you need to bend your front knee, just bring your hand a little bit higher on the shin. Avoid pressing it into the knee. You can also use a block. One more deep inhale. On your exhale, this time bring both hands to the inside of the left foot and walk your hands to the center of the mat. Turn your feet in slightly so they're pigeon-toed or exactly parallel. We'll move through Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Feel your navel come back towards your spine. Exhale, refold and plant your hands on the mat. Let your hands touch. Bend your knees if you need to, but if you're quite comfortable here, walk the palms of your hands in line with the soles of your feet. And again, we're searching for that length in the spine. So if your head easily touches the ground, but your spine's really rounded, then just ease up out of the posture or bring the feet closer together so you still have some space for your head. And you can stay here stretching the back sides of the legs. If you do want to do a headstand, feel free to float on up. Only if you feel very comfortable. And if you did choose to take a headstand, stay there as long as you want. If you want to keep stretching the legs, then follow along with us. Inhale, halfway lift again, navel towards the spine. Hands towards the hips or grab the hips. Press into the feet as you rise up. Use the strength of your legs. Inhale, extend the arms out to a T. Exhale, interlace fingers behind your low back. Inhale, as the fingertips stretch down, lift your chin up. And exhale, refold. And if you are upside down and you're still loving it, cool. If you came down, you can just rejoin us. Wherever you are, whatever pose, whatever shape, notice your breath. Very good. Now inhale, halfway lift. Release your hands to your hips. Rise all the way up. Step or jump to the top of the mat, Samastahiti. Hands come down by the sides, palms face forward. Inhale, lift the arms and gaze. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back to a high plank position. Listen closely. Lower your knees, chest, and chin to the ground, exaggerating the movement in the spine. To cobra, knees and thighs stay on the floor as you slither through and press into the hands slightly. And exhale, press back to a child's pose. And now, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. We'll step or jump, float through our hands to a seated position, legs straight out in front of us. Move into Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze, stretch. And exhale, fold. And you'll see how Chandler grabbed his towel to wrap it around his feet and use his towel for balance. If you feel like your spine is really rounding like this, but you're in the fold, so I'll exaggerate it, like you're really in the fold, but your spine's like this, you're not really getting any of the therapeutic benefits. So what I want you to do instead is bend your knees, bring your torso and thighs together, and then slowly over time, I mean, this might take months or years or who knows how long, you start to fold. Now, once you are in the pose, you'll have a natural curvature in your spine. Our spines are curved, but it won't be this like really hunched shape that's reiterating all the patterns that are unhealthy for us from working at desk jobs and such. 2 more breaths here. Slowly release your fold, rise up, plant your hands behind you, fingers face forward, plant your feet, knees face the ceiling. On your inhale, lift your hips up for tabletop pose. If it's okay on the neck, drop your head back, and then we'll start the best streak of breath, breath of fire. Quick exhales out the nose, sounds like a dog panting. The navel's pumping with each breath. Toning for the navel, solar plexus, energetic spot for personal empowerment. Keep going. Fast little inhales and exhales. And now slowly exhale, release. Lie all the way down onto your back from here. And once you're all the way on your back, bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide for a Supta Baddha Konasana, or a reclined cobbler's pose. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. And let your eyes stare blankly at the ceiling or allow them to close. Slow down your breathing. Notice where you feel your breath in your body. Feel the hips relaxing even more. You might choose to stay like this or extend the legs out to a straight, natural position. And your hands might stay here or interlace above your belly or come by your sides, palms face up. Final relaxation, Shavasana. I invite you to stay in this relaxed state for a minimum of 8 minutes to get and receive its full benefits. But truly, anytime you step onto your mat and move and breathe intentionally will have a positive ripple effect in your life. Thank you for joining us today. Namaste.